My name is Sarah Pellerito. This is my sister Aubrey Goichai, my niece Ivy, and I am a surrogate.
In 2017, my husband and I conceived through in vitro fertilization and ended up having a ton of complications during the delivery. After hysterectomy, thankfully I pulled through. We always knew we wanted to have another baby, and we still had 2 embryos from the initial IVF, but the only way we would ever be able to have them was through surrogacy.
My husband and I spoke about it, and he said, let's do it. Surrogacy is a complicated process. It involves daily shots in your stomach, in your hips, suppositories, patches, blood work, mental evaluation, doctor's appointments, legal documentation. All along I knew I was doing this for my sister, and it was very important to me that when she was born, she was placed directly into Aubrey's arms. I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity to give my sister and her husband this priceless gift.
My name is Buddy Dyer. I've been here for 16 years. I went into the shipping department in the office just recently. I started off in the production area on a stand-up high-low. I fed the lines with product. I did that for about 10 years. And then I come back to the shipping area and I worked on the dock. I went to the turrets about 5 or 6 years ago. And basically, we pull all the product from the turret to the smaller stand-ups on the floor, and they feed the production line.
We were gonna go for a swim, do a quick dive off the dock, swim in, and go start cooking dinner. And it ended up, being, I think it was only 2 feet deep. I pretty much hit right on the top of my head. I was what was called a C5 burst fracture.
I was working out at the gym and the machine failed and broke my back. Sat up, paralyzed, was telling everybody around me, my legs don't work. And they're saying, you're not paralyzed. I'm like, yes, I am.
We started a foundation approximately 12 years ago. And I saw an administrator come up to somebody with a spinal cord injury that was sitting in the chair with their family and told this family that today is your last day of therapy because your resources have run out, probably insurance. And I knew looking at that family that they were going to go home and have a terrible night and a terrible weekend and a terrible many days in their life. And so I went home to my wife, Mary, and said, we've been looking for a charitable outlet, and I think this is it.
My name is Tim Tonichella, and I'm a legally blind street photographer in Detroit. I've always had a passion for photography, in spite of the fact that a lot of people told me I could never do it. Probably one of the questions I'm asked the most often is, how can you be a photographer and be legally blind? You just have to adapt to what you have. I shoot with a larger lens than most photographers, and if you think about it, it's like having my own monocular. I've done a series of exhibits. One of my favorite ones was Holes in the Wall. It was the iconic restaurants of Detroit. I photographed street musicians, the homeless. I'm particularly fond of the Easter Market in Belle Isle. I believe everybody has to find something that they're passionate about. I feel alive when I'm out shooting. I enjoy people, so being out on the street is a perfect place to be.